Good morning, my people, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and motivated son. I am the diaspora much, my people. It has been another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and all the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American? My people, all in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. My people, it have drizzled consistently for about 2 days, and now the Most High have blessed us with the glory, the beauty, and the magnificence of the sun. My people, as usual, I am going to keep my promise and deal with the topic, the conversation white parents always have with their children. My people, we know that when you are dealing with the African American parents always says there is a conversation they need to have with their children as it relates to dealing with law enforcement. Whether it be the police, the sheriff department, the FBI, or whatever law enforcement authority that controls their jurisdiction, they always seek to take the opportunity to speak to their children as to how to deal with law enforcement when they are confronted with a situation where they need to deal with the police or the sheriff department. And that is because there have been too many or too high an incident where abuse and death of black people at the hands of the police is concerned. But like the black parents, the white parents also normally have a conversation with their children, but this is kept very quiet. No one ever speaks about this publicly in the same way the African Americans speak about the conversation they have with their children. Let me say this, as a black man who is existing in a dominantly white community where the police organization is there to ensure that white privilege is protected. If I had my sons in this community, I would never be fearful for their lives, and I would not have to have that conversation with my children, because I would have taught them the values that they need to know from my life and in words that would have prevented them from being murdered not by the police but by anyone as long as they have life and exist. And those values is for my sons and my daughters would be: never get involved in homosexuality, bestiality, or abortion. And if you are raped, make sure you out a rapist. And if you don't out him, ensure that you do all in your power to kill them. So like the African American teaches their children how to deal with the police, that would not be my concern, because my children knows that homosexuality is a no-no under all circumstances. If any of my sons or daughters get involved in homosexuality, then there is nothing that their father can do for them, because I have already prepared them by my life and by telling them what the things they ought not to do. Homosexuality, bestiality, and abortion are those things. What you also need to know before I get into the meat of this matter is children are children no matter the shade of their skin, no matter their complexion, or whether they walk on 2 hind legs or 4 legs. They are innocent, they are honest, and they are trusting. My people, you have to remember, a lion have to teach his cub who and what not to associate with. Because if that lion or the lioness don't teach their cubs who or what they must associate with, those lions as children are very trusting, they are innocent, and they will play with anyone and anything. Black children, white children, Indian children, African children, Asian children, Polynesian children are the same. They are innocent, they are trusting, and it takes everything at face value. Now, anytime a white child is in an environment where he or she is interacting with children of other race, and very, very often you find those children becomes upset and go home to their parents and complain about either the treatment of one of their friends who is not white is getting. Treatment that is in their mind is unfair and should not be allowed to happen. When these experiences and encounters happens, those white children go to their parents all emotional and upset and tell their parents what they see, what they heard, what should be. And their parents would agree that under normal circumstances, this is what should happen. Yes, little Jimmy, your African American friend is not supposed to be treated like this. But you have to realize that if little Jimmy is not treated like this, he will get the wrong impression as to who he is. If the teacher allow little Jimmy to answer all of the questions, then he will outshine you. If the police did not shoot down little Rebecca's father, and he allowed him to persist in the way in which he was going, which normally is no way, then he would have become a threat and a danger to us. You have to remember, you have to come to the realization that we may look alike, but we are not the same. They are smarter and wiser, more intelligent than we are. But we can't allow them to know that. Because if they get to understand this, they will begin to treat us differently. They will begin to take advantage of us. So your teacher, Ms. Johnson, and the police officer are there to ensure that things remain equal and balanced, and they do not take control over the system. They are more smarter than us. They are wiser than us. Their God are more powerful than our God. But we can't let them know it, because if they know it, they are going to treat us different. And we will lose all of our opportunities. The houses that we are living in will not be able to live in them anymore. The cars we are driving will not be able to drive them. The type of food we eat will not be able to eat it anymore, because they will take control of all of the resources. They are wiser, smarter, brighter, stronger, more courageous than we are. But we can't let them know. We have to use people like Ms. Johnson and the police to keep them intact, so we can continue to enjoy the privilege we now have. Once this conversation is had, the dynamics between innocent children changes. Without any reason, these children began to separate, to stray apart from each other. Because a white child is now taught that he is not the same as the black child, as the Indian child, as a Japanese child, as a Chinese child. Their friendship begins to change, and they become more accepting of the evil that is perpetrated upon their once friends, because it is necessary to maintain the status quo. That is why Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 21 says, the Most High God speaking to Moses, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those who are not people, and I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. And you have to realize that when the Most High was speaking here, he was speaking not in admonishing the Israelites, but in a prophetic manner, things that must come to pass. Today, in America, in the world, especially in California, many blacks, Indians, Asians, Polynesians have relinquished their freedom and make the Caucasians their God. And now they are subservient to the Caucasians. There is nothing they can do to change that reality that they put themselves in. They have to comply with all of the instructions given to them. And when they are punished, they have to pretend as if they love their punishment that is coming at the hands of their masters, their gods, the Caucasians. My name is Chief Strongblood. I'm St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the Diaspora Machismo. Talk to you soon.